Hello everybody, it is the Empty Rice Bowl, back here again with another Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker video for you all. So today we will be doing another analysis breakdown of a skill in the game, because as we all know, the game does not tell you how much the skills help you. So today's skill is the Substitution Cooldown Reduction skill. When you equip the skill, it's supposed to reduce your substitution cooldown time. Okay. So the substitution cooldown time stated effect. When you log into the game, you look at the skill. You look at the description of the skill when you click on the apparel. It will say these exact words: shorten substitution cooldown time. Okay. It'll also provide a more in-depth description saying shortens escape, substitution, or clone jutsu cooldown time. But it doesn't tell you how much. Okay, that's the problem. Note, item rank does not affect the skill in any way. C rank items reduce the cooldown by the exact same amount as S rank items. So, in order to figure out how much this skill helps you, I conducted a test. It's not that good of a test, but it's still a test. And here's the process. Here's the actual test. This is what I did. So the substitution that I used was the paper clone jutsu, which is in effect substitution, meaning that when you use a substitution, if the enemy falls for it, then a certain effect is placed on them. And the mentor you get this substitution jutsu from is Konan. That is why I'll be having so many Konan pictures throughout this entire slideshow. The base cooldown of the paper clone jutsu is 30 seconds. So, when you equipped the skill, the substitution cooldown time skill, it lowers the cooldown of the paper clone jutsu from 30 seconds to 27 seconds, around 27 seconds, not exactly 27 seconds. And the difference between the exact number and the approximate number is slight. There's not a huge difference, but it's still there. We'll get to that later. So, the calculations. When the skill is equipped, the substitution cooldown times, I did 3 trials, okay? I did this 3 times, which is not a lot, but it's still something, and the numbers were fairly consistent, so I consider this to be a pretty decent study, like a pretty decent test. So we had 3 trials, 3 different times I recorded the seconds. First one was 26.49 seconds, then there was 27.87 seconds, and then finally there was 27.67 seconds. So the total number of seconds was 82.03 seconds. But to find the average, we take that number divided by 3, the number of trials, and we get 27.34 seconds, which is approximately 27 seconds, okay? This 27.34 seconds versus the 27 seconds is what I'm talking about when there's a difference. Just that 0.34 seconds changes the percentage of cooldown time reduction. So, if you take 30 seconds minus 27 seconds, the approximate reduction in terms of seconds for the skill, you have 3 seconds, okay? That is the approximate reduction, okay? Around 3 seconds. If using the skill on a 30-second cooldown, it'll be 3 seconds. If you take the exact value, it's around 2.66 seconds, okay? A reduction of 3 seconds on a 30-second cooldown is around a 10% substitution cooldown time reduction. A reduction of 2.66 seconds on a 30-second cooldown substitution cooldown time is around 8.9%. So there is a difference there, although it's not that large, but there's still a difference. So now we can alter the stated effect of the substitution cooldown time skill and say that it shortens substitution cooldown time by 10% or 8.9%. However, this is a very big however, just like last video, how useful is a 10% substitution cooldown reduction? Let's analyze some of the pros and the cons. Some of the pros. it reduces substitution cooldown time, obviously, which means more substitution uses and the potential to save your life in a clutch moment, okay? So maybe you really need that extra 1 or 2 seconds, and you somehow managed to get having this skill allowed you to stay alive, and maybe it wins you the game, maybe it wins you the fight, maybe it keeps you a little alive a little bit longer until you die again, and you're completely useless anyway, because that's how it is. But let's take a look at the cons now, and there's way more cons, as you can tell. Actually, no, I guess there's only one more con, but it just looks way bigger. So, unlikely to take full advantage of small reduction. You're getting a 10% substitution cooldown time reduction, which means you're getting 3 seconds, okay? 3 seconds max. That's not even taking into account the other substitutions, which might have a shorter cooldown, okay? 3 seconds is not that much. So there is incredibly small cooldown reduction. Keep in mind, like I said, the shorter the jutsu cooldown, the smaller the benefit. So there's a negligible difference in effectiveness. Let us compare the longest cooldown substitution versus the shortest cooldown substitution. So we'll take one of the longest cooldowns, the paper clone jutsu, 30-second cooldown, take away 10%, and you have a 27-second cooldown, which is minus 3 seconds. You have the shortest cooldown substitution, the substitution jutsu. 20-second cooldown, minus 10%, is 18 seconds for your cooldown. That is minus 2 seconds. You see how there's very, very little difference. It's practically negligible. My voice is also getting weird. My tonsils are getting big. I have to be right back. Okay, I'm back. So let's continue here. So additional notes. I am fairly certain that Kakashi's Sharingan ninjutsu does not benefit from the skill. It wouldn't really matter anyway. And when a player is attacked, the substitution meter does recharge faster. It's very difficult to calculate by how much. I've guessed that it's probably around twice as fast. And there was, I know there was actually more than once. There was a time when the cooldown was 13 seconds, so it could be even faster than twice as fast, which makes the skill even more useless, because any of the seconds that you do save, those 3 seconds, it pretty much takes 3 seconds to enter a battle anyway, so the skill is not that good. So the shortened cooldown time effect for the substitution jutsu shortens substitution jutsu cooldown time by 10% or 8.9%, but it's a negligible difference. So my verdict is it gets the stamp of disapproval. Sad, sad. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this helped. I hope that you understand a little bit more about the game. So final recap. The shortened substitution cooldown time skill in Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker is very, very bad. It's not good. It only reduces your cooldown time for your substitution jutsu by 10% at most, and that is not good. It is a negligible difference. You are much better off using a different skill, and I'll make a video in the future about some of the better skills in the game. But I really want to thank you for watching. I hope this helped, and I'll see you later.